Welcome back or welcome to the channel. My name is Jerry. In this video we'll be going over how to set up a domain controller in Azure. We'll be doing an Active Directory domain controller using Windows Server 2022, and then in the next video I'll be going over how to set up a client, so stay tuned for that one. So let's head over to our lab now. So in Azure, you would need to set up a domain controller. To do this, simply make sure that it has its own public IP address so that you can use RDP to connect to it, and make sure that it's on the same network as a client. So you'll have your domain controller, which is a Windows Server 2022 machine. So the first thing we need to look at once we've created it is our public IP address, and to be able to connect to it. The next thing we need to do is we need to connect up our network. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that the IP address that is assigned to it, the private IP address, so down here in 10.0.0.4, is set to a static IP, because we don't want the domain controller to be reassigned its IP address by DHCP. So we want to go to networking, we've got to go to the network interface, and then go down to IP configurations. Then down here we'll click that, and then we'll assign a static IP address, so just keep it as the same there. We'll save that. As we can see, it says it's successfully saved it. So now what we want to do is we want to go back to our machine, copy this, and then connect to it using remote desktop. So let me just find that. Copy and paste that in. So generally when you first sign in, it will take a little bit to open up this server manager, but because I was signed in before, it's already loaded it, it's already turned on, and it's ready to go. So now to begin the process of installing Active Directory and then configuring it for our users. So we'll go up to here and manage. We'll go add roles and features. So we want to go next, role-based or feature-based installation, we'll click next, then we'll click next. Then here we need to select Active Directory Domain Services, then we'll open up this window and we'll just click Add Features. So we want all of these tools to be added, and then we'll click next, click next, next, and install. So now this is going to install all of these different roles and features that this server needs to be able to run Active Directory and to become a domain controller. Now that this is completed, we'll click close, and then we'll get this notification here in the little flag. So we'll click on that, and it will ask us whether we want to promote this server to the domain controller. So the domain controller will then control the entire domain of an organization or network of computers that are using Active Directory and are connected to the domain controller. And it's asking us, if you have several servers, which one is the one that's going to be the boss, which one's going to actually dictate how it all functions and the policies that are assigned to users. So we'll click promote this server to domain controller. Bring this down closer to the middle. Then we'll add a new forest. Select a name, billy.com for me. Then we'll need to select a password. Click next. Click next. Click next. Next again. Review our options. Click next. And then next we'll have to click install. And at the end of this operation, it will reboot the actual server. So you will get logged out, which means you'll lose connection to the server. So you just got to wait like maybe about 30 seconds before you actually try to log back in. So now you just need to reconnect. But at this point, because we've promoted this to a domain controller, we've set up Active Directory. This is no longer logging into simply the actual computer itself. We'll be logging into the domain. So we need to attach the billy.com, then backslash, and then our lab user. After this, we will actually create an admin user that isn't just a local user of the machine, but is a domain user within it, and we'll give this user admin rights to be able to configure things and change things as they see fit. So we'll log in to this as billy.com backslash lab user. So now that we've logged back in, we'll have to create a couple of organizational units in users and computers. So to access Active Directory users and computers, you can go to Tools in your Server Manager, and here we've been added a few Active Directory things. So we'll click Active Directory users and computers. They'll open up this window, and we'll click on our domain. And we see we have some folders here. We have our users. We'll see our lab user here. So this is these different symbols represent different kinds of users. So lab user is a local user, but then we have these groups, security groups here, and that's what these like two people means. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some organizational groups, organizational units sorry. So we'll go employees, I'll do that. New organizational unit. Admins. Clients. Later on, we'll be creating a whole bunch of users in our employees folder, and we'll be adding our client in the next video to this client organizational unit. So let's create a new user. So we'll right click, we'll go to new, we'll go to user, and here we'll put in a name of a user. So because we'll go with the theme of Billy, I'll put Billy, got caps lock on, Billy Creel. Go bcreel at billy.com. Alright, next. Give him a password. And now we need to make sure that our user Billy is not just a domain user, but an admin. Oh, why is he putting here? For some reason, I think because I right-clicked on billy.com, it put Billy into just the overarching thing rather than in the users folder. So he's down here, Billy Creel. Double click on him, and then we'll make him a member of the domain admin. So we'll add him to a group. Type in domain admin. Check the name, it will change it, and we assign the group. So apply. Okay, and then we have it. We have domain admin. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sign out of lab user, which is the local account, and then we're going to sign back in as Billy, because it's good to have your admin users doing stuff rather than like a local root user. So we will sign out, disconnect us, we'll sign back in. So go billy.com /b-creel. And there you have it. We've made a domain controller. So now the next step is to create a whole bunch of users, and we'll use these users to actually log into our other machine once we've connected it to the domain controller. So what we'll do is we'll get a script that Josh Madakor wrote to be run in Active Directory, and that it will create users for us. I'll put the link of this script down in the description. The only reason why I did it this way is because I've had trouble copy and pasting a link from all the script from my browser in my computer into the virtual machine. So we'll go to raw, we'll select all of it, and then we'll copy. Now we'll need to run this in PowerShell ISE. So we'll right click on that and we'll run as an administrator. If you don't run it as an administrator, this script won't work because you are creating users, and it won't like you not doing it. It won't like you doing it as with no administrative privileges. So I'll just, instead of creating 1,000, we're going to create 100. So the way that this script works is that it puts a whole bunch of random combinations of letters together, so the consonants and vowels alternating, and then makes a first name and a last name, and then assigns that to a user, and then it also assigns password 1 as the password. So we'll just create 100 this time, and we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, it's creating them, and a lot of these names are really funny and really silly, and they sound very foreign to me anyways. Alright, so that's complete. So we can close that. We don't want to save it. Close this. Close this. Go to our server manager. We'll go to Tools, Active Directory Users and Computers, drop down menu, and then we'll have a look at the employees. And as you can see, these employees are now here. So let's just click on one. This one, Douge Lock. So we know his display name will be Douge Lock. His last name is Lock. So we'll look at his account to see what he would like sign in as. So he would sign in as douche.lock or dudge.lock. And he would have the password. He would have the password of password1. So in the next video, we're going to sign in as our lab user in our client, and then we're going to sign in as douche.lock once we've connected that computer to this domain. As always, if you enjoyed watching this video and learned something, please leave a comment or a like. Let me know if I missed anything, or if anything, or if there's anything that I just need to learn or have a look at that may be interesting. And yeah, I hope you have a really, really great day.